do you have of course I'm sure you do, like an ass set and an ass hat.
Okay. Yes, I have an asset. Uh, I was actually training this I actually trained this individual, and but mind you, this is not agent training. This was actually somebody that we promoted to an English coach apprentice who eventually became an English coach. All right. He was an asset, but he was a bit of a dick. All right. And because he was
I have a
wildly
name.
what?
Does it start with a K?
Oh, yes, it does. I think yeah,
Are
I
you?
told you about him.
a-
You know him.
Are we thinking about the same person? I have
Yes.
drank with this person several times, and I hate his face so much. I wanna punch him. But yes, go ahead.
Don't. All right. We're thinking of the same person, and I know for a fact that we're thinking about the same person. All right. I am saying that he was an asset because he was really good at his job. He was he was a brilliant speaker. He was always high energy, high octane, dynamic. All right. I'd say that he was very tenacious. He was always ready to help. He was just a great guy to be around, you know. However, there's a
No,
huge
he is
however.
not. He is not a great guy to be around. He
However,
is a
no, no, no.
great guy to be
I'm talking
trained
about.
by.
Relax. I'm talking about in the office. All right.
Still, well, I don't
No,
know.
no.
I don't know. I don't know.
I was with him in the office. He's just a great guy. When I asked him to do something, he'd be there 110%. I'm saying this, and I'm saying a huge but or however after this. He was a bit of it was a bit of a show off, and that was my
A
biggest
bit,
issue
a
against
bit,
him. Huh? Huh?
a bit.
A lot.
Uh,
Okay,
thank you.
fine, a lot. It was something that I could get past that. I can get past it because at work, awesome. All right, but I do not want to hang out with him afterward. I do not want to see him afterward because he'd be so loud. It's just ov-
Obnoxiously loud.
overwhelmingly obnoxious at
And
times.
we almost got into like several fights because of this mother trucker.
Okay.
And if we did end up, throwing hands with other tables, I am leaving his ass. I'm not gonna be there backing him up. I might join the other table in kicking his ass. That's how much of an
Okay.
ass this guy is.
So
Yeah,
yes, I so there you go. You know for a fact that this guy was an asset, but also an ass hat. Yeah, I can call him an asshole. All right, and the reason why I can call him an asshole is because it takes one to know one. And I'll tell you this lesson that I learned from him. All right, I actually learned this from him. Why did I do that? Because I was exactly like him when I was starting out as an English coach. I was exactly like him. I was a bit of a show off. I had a huge head. I would try to regale my trainees with the different accents that I can use every time we're doing mock calls. I would pretend to be Scottish, Chinese, New Yorker, Mexican, Hispanic, French. I would use different accents. And he actually knew how to do that too. That's why I thought he was a good asset. However, there was one instance where we were introduced to a class that we were going to train the week after, and we were going to introduce ourselves. It was only supposed to be 10 minutes, but we ended up staying there 5 minutes because he was talking for 15 minutes, and he was talking about himself, and he was talking about all the great accents that he can use. He was trying to switch from one accent to another, and I was like, God, I'm better than this guy. And when I actually thought about that, I'm better than this guy at those things. I actually started thinking, God, I'm fucking worse than this guy because this is exactly who I was. This is exactly how I sounded like, and this is exactly the type of person that I'd never wanted to be. And believe it or not, after that very specific session, after that, after that day, I never, I when and whenever I would go to an introduction, like we're gonna train a class next week. hey, we're gonna introduce ourselves. The only thing that I would say is, hi, I'm Leandro Manuel Cientazo. You can call me Papa Bear. I'm the English specialist, and then I'll see you next week. That's the only thing I would say. All right, because if I started talking about myself, God, man, I just pictured him in my head, and I was like, I don't want to be that guy. So in essence, his being an asshole actually gave me credence to start practicing humility
There you
because I
go.
was exactly like him,
That was
you know.
something.
And I will say this: I'm thankful to him because I ended up seeing that part of myself that I was probably a bigger asshole than he was, you know. And I was humbled. He humbled me without having to humble me. That's
He
so
humbled me.
that's my experience of an asshole who was a big asset, a big asset.